strange to see myself in the screen, but for this tour, it should be like that. It's a little different. Ah, I see already several people in the chat. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Yes or no. I see Queen V. Hi, Tish. Hi, Susan. Welcome, Ronnie. Hi, Susan. I'm a little too far away now from my gimbal, so I cannot scroll and see who is already over there. But hi, Walpuri also. Welcome. I'm just still sounded okay. That's good. Thank you. You can see and hear me. I think it's all, I'm a little later because I had a million things to prepare. The interesting thing is that what you see over here on the table, we should do a behind the scene picture later on. I will place that so you can see how it all looks around over here because I think there's food for wow 10 people or so, something like that. It's all here on an extremely big table. So yeah, I'm in my office, by the way. So and welcome everyone, and hopefully you're ready for some typical Dutch food because um, that's what we're gonna do. You love my cow? Oh yeah, yeah. I have a very unique little cow over here, and as you can maybe see, it's all in the Delft's blue style. So because I was born in Delft and lived there the first 5 years of my life. So, and of course, Delft is famous for the Delft's blue, the Delftware, and everything, the pottery. So, and even this little milk cow is over here. So, and yeah, even some orange. Of course, this is a very Dutch day because we're gonna talk about Dutch food today. So I'm prepared. That's what I said. I will later on share you in my Facebook group how the back end of this was all looking because I'm want to try to show you as much as possible from the Dutch food. And the interesting thing is that the smell over here is already sort of kind of crazy. I'm smelling cheese. I'm smelling fish. I'm smelling all kind of cumin I think I'm smelling and all kind of other things. So but it is nice to have already about 40 people over here. So you maybe sometimes hear on the background some noise of still some noise that is from the microwave because some of the things I like to eat warm and but no we are over here in the Netherlands today. Um, we're in the Netherlands today. I'm in Amsterdam. My name is Stefan because I think it's now officially time to start this tour. My name is Stefan, born and raised in the Netherlands. So, and I'm wearing today my Dutch clothes. So, because I am a Dutchie, so the orange color, our national color, together with some Delft's blue from the city of Delft, the famous pottery that is coming from, or the Delftware that's coming from over there. And even my plates, look at this. I have several plates, but look, my plate even is like a typical Dutch Dutch view, I think, from maybe 200 years ago, something like that. So it's a nice way. And even on the back side, you can also hang it. Look, you can hang it on your wall. But I'm gonna eat from it, and there is a little sign at the back saying Holland. So, of course, also the name that they're sometimes giving our country. But to be honest, yes, where I am right now, this is the part of the Netherlands that we're calling Holland. But that is basically only a little part of the Netherlands. And although it is now evening over here, I didn't eat the whole day to be prepared as good as possible. So, but let's start. Let's start. And how do we start? Okay, it's early in the morning. You're just getting out of bed. And then, what are Dutch people eating in the morning? And maybe some of you know that, but yeah, what are we eating in the morning? So we're getting out of bed to the dinner room, and then sometimes when I was a kid, my mom already prepared some things, and then one of the things that was always on the table, typical Dutch, always bread, always bread, and that's um, the sound of the microwave again. So we have bread. So first, we're gonna do the real Dutch breakfast, and that is have some bread, and together with the bread, of course, with the bread, we have several things. So first, exactly, I'm seeing already some people are saying like butter. I have over here what we call roomboter, so the creamy butter. That is the best one. Only the hardest thing is always you're getting it out of the freezer. Don't place it in the freezer because then it's too hard and you cannot get it. And I made a mistake. I placed it, or my colleague placed it in the fridge. So it's now a little too warm. So I'm gonna see if I can still make something out of this. So I removed already some parts to warm it up. And yes, we are a dairy country. We are a dairy country, so we're placing a lot of the butter on our bread. So to have a nice bottom, so it's still breakfast, eh? We're still breakfast, of course. In the meantime, I have some tea over here. We're not, by the way, we're dairy country. We love milk, but we normally don't do milk in our tea. We're leaving that to the British. We're leaving that to the British, but if some people, of course, sometimes as a kid, you like it, and then we have, for example, this nice cow over here. Look at my cute cow. This cute cow, it's filled with milk. So I have my cup of tea over here. So oh wait, the tea bag is over here. Let's see. I'm just gonna place it. Then just wait. Just throw it away. I think that's better. So, but I have my cow over here. I have a beautiful cup, and I'm just doing just a little milk inside. I normally don't drink my tea like this, and it's also not like what you find in England that you have milk with tea almost, but it's just like a little pieces. And okay, cheers already. Okay, let's go back to the bread and cheese. So normally one or two slices, and what are we then eating on our bread? We're still in the dairy country. We're famous of our cows, and what is one of the other things that's coming from the cows? That's of course the cheese, the famous Dutch cheese. So just let me show you. I prepared some different cheeses over here. I have three different ones. A middle-aged one, what we call belegen. I have one with cumin seeds, and I have an old one. The old one is for later. So for the breakfast, it's still early. So we want a soft cheese. So we're getting a cheese like this. So this one is coming from such a big cheese wheel, and then what we get is an very important tool. If you are living in the Netherlands, then you always need a cheese slicer. So the cheese slicer, and to be honest, this slicer is for middle-aged and older cheese. We also have specific ones for younger cheese, but I'm not the biggest fan of the young cheese. So the little middle-aged, myself also middle-aged, so maybe that is the reason. So I'm just gonna use this, and we're gonna slice it. I'm just gonna do it a little more in the camera. So yeah, I've done this more often. So I'm slicing some pieces of the cheese on my bread. So just the second one. Okay, there we go. That's a little hard to do it further away from myself. So okay, let's do three slices. So, and the thing is, when I was growing up as a boy over here in the Netherlands, then yeah, I had to eat always two pieces of bread, and then one piece. My mom was always saying, "You have to eat good. You have to eat healthy." So that is the piece with cheese. So that is the good, and you need that every day because then you're growing well. So I have over here a very nice little. I can show you. So with three slices over there, and that's what we're eating. And by the way, you can also see the bread is white. And in a lot of situations, by the way, my mom was saying like, "No, Stefan, eat this bread, the darker bread, because that is more healthy." But for now, just keep it. I'm just gonna have one little piece. Hmm. I'm not gonna eat too much, and oh, I'm I have something in my mouth and talking. Sorry for that. Bread and cheese. That is basically the normal one for almost everyone. And then the second thing, as a kid, of course, you also want other things. You're after a while a little bored from always having bread with cheese. So we have something very specific, and that's why I have my other piece over here. I placed already quite a lot of butter on it because that is to prepare for what we have over here. I'm just going to show you making a little bit sound. This is what we call, and this is what we call the chocolate sprinkles. And every kid in the Netherlands is eating this. This is your favorite on the bread. We have all kind of variations. I love the pure chocolate sprinkles. So yeah, and what we're doing then is, of course, as a kid, this is lovely to do. So you're opening it. So you're opening it, and then okay, let's do this a little more. It's gonna be a mess, maybe. I'm just getting this more nearby, and then you're just doing this over your bread. And this is also how I was doing it as a kid. Too much, always too much. So half of it is falling from your bread, but of course, you love the chocolate. And the interesting thing is, oh, it's now literally everywhere on the table. The more butter you have under, then it's literally, you can even do it a little like this, just with your fingers to push it a little in the butter, and then it sticks in the butter. So this is the perfect Dutch breakfast. As and to be honest, I'm still loving that. I mean, I'm not a kid anymore, but I'm still loving it. And then sometimes I'm trying always to do the cheese, but then sometimes I'm thinking like, oh, I now want chocolate sprinkles again. And then I can really recommend you if you ever come to the Netherlands, and even in every hotel they have them in different variations, pure, also milk chocolate, and also little bigger ones. But this is, let's say it, the heaven at your breakfast. But basically, this is it. It's not a very big breakfast, so it's just fast, and then yeah, then we're going to school or to work or something like that, and then okay, then it is time. Then it's time for what is coming after breakfast. I now have to think. You know, uh, but what happened then is we have lunch. Oh, lunch. Okay, it's very easy. We're just gonna do the same thing again. Because for lunch, what are the Dutch eating? It's maybe a little boring. We're not eating warm. No, we're not eating warm. No, not at all. So you're coming home, or if you're work, you're just bringing it. You're just bringing some things, um, some things with you, and then it is again bread with cheese, bread with chocolate sprinkles. So basically, the breakfast and the lunch are exactly the same. So we're eating it, and we're eating it again. Okay, maybe some variations with white bread or brown bread. By the way, my favorite bread in the Netherlands is the one that's called tiger bread. And tiger bread, and this is just normal white bread. We also have tiger bread, and the outside is in the shape of a tiger almost, and that is really the best bread that you can have with your chocolate sprinkles. That I can really recommend that to do. Okay, so we had breakfast, we had lunch. So there is there's let's go a little later. Let's go a little later in the day. So then we have okay, we have tea time. We have tea time in the Netherlands, let's say around 4 p.m. Not really exactly the same, but there are different variations. On a working day, on a working day, then you're coming home, or you have like a little pause from work, and then you're drinking your tea. And but yeah, you have been working already. You've been working already a little longer. So what are we doing? What are we doing if we have that tea? We need something sweet. We really need something. So, sorry. We really need something sweet together with our tea. And that's one of the most famous things that we have over here in the Netherlands. And maybe some of you know that. They're selling them in these kind of things, and we're calling them in Dutch. Stroopwafels or syrup waffles. And I'm just going to show you one a little more from nearby. This is how they're looking. And it is basically made originally, traditionally, from the old dough, the leftovers of the dough that's too old. Let's say the dough that was used to make the bread. They had some leftovers. And then, of course, you, you don't want to eat old leftover dough. So what they were doing is basically placing some syrup in the middle. Some syrup in the middle. So, and then because of all the syrup, because of all the sweetness, you still like it, even if it is old dough. And the best thing is, if you're coming to the Netherlands, I can recommend you go to a market. Almost all over the country, you can find it on a street market. You can have these things still fresh, freshly syrup waffles, fresh stroopwafels. And then they're making it in front of you. It's warm with the warm syrup in the middle. That's really amazing to try. And then also, by the way, the size is a little bigger than this one. So they are like 4 to 6 times this size. But okay, you don't have always the time to go there. It's now just somewhere on the day, so you still have your some of the things like these. And then yeah, how to warm it up? We have a solution for that. So we're using our tea. What we're doing, let's get my teacup. So what we're doing, look, the size of this one. I'm placing it on top of my teacup. Oh, it's perfect. It's exactly the size. It looks like someone has been thinking about it. And then it is warming up. No, we're not using a toaster. No, we're warming it up just with the hot tea. So if your tea is hot enough, then of course after a while, then you maybe turn it a little, and then because of the heat of the tea, what happens is that your syrup waffle will warm up, then the syrup will melt again a little, and that is the best way. So we're eating. Hmm, it's really good, really good. A little warm. My tea is already a little too cold now because I placed the cold milk inside. So never do that in the Netherlands, at least. So, whilst I'm just having to drink here now and then. So that is one of the things that is a little later on the day. But of course, it can also be, let's say it is a Thursday or a Friday, and you're going with your friends to a bar somewhere. It's almost weekends, and then around 4, maybe 5 p.m., something like that. Then you need to then yeah, just you can leave it there. You can leave it there. So then it is something a little different. So you're going to the bar. We're going to the bar, and no, we're not gonna have tea in the bar. No, no, no. That's really for the morning, or maybe at home. And no, we're also not using coffee because that's not warm enough. No, we're the hot tea. That is what we're using. No, so we're going to a bar, and what do you have in a bar? Of course, let's get. I just have to get it. Heineken. Yeah, of course, I'm in Amsterdam. I have now another beer. I have another beer. Of course, I don't have a tap over here. Not in my office. It's not that bad. And of course, I have a glove. So we are having over here. We're drinking the beer with a glass, with a glass like this. So let's open this first. Let's open this first. So come on. I'm just gonna open the beer. I'm also going to show you how we're doing that. This is, by the way, one of these what we call tulip glasses. So they are a little different. So we have them in different ways also. So okay, oh, just going well. It's just going well. And this is a beer. And the interesting thing is that a lot of people are coming to the Netherlands. And for example, from the UK, but also from other parts of the world, and then they're coming in the bar, and then the barman is making their beers, and then they're getting a beer like this. So from the tap, okay, here, Stefan, here you're getting your beer. Okay, let's do it a little more because I made the so you're getting your beer. So and then you get it like this. Always, always. there is foam on top. We never do our beer to the top of the glass. Not with beer, at least. Not with beer. No, with a beer, you always have, or it's officially, and my fingers are not so thick, but officially you need 2 fingers of foam on top of your beer, and that means that it stays good. So I would say cheers. This is how we do that. Mm, okay, but I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting something because, of course, it is the end of the day. So we need something together with the beer. And for the old Dutchies, it's even they are going to a bar and they are doing something like what we call a kopstoot. And a kopstoot is a combination. Is a combination. So we have the beer. I'm just gonna get a little more, so we still have the nice foam again. I'm now finishing. By the way, this was an Hertog Jan. That's a beer a little from the a little from the southern part of the Netherlands, from Brabant. Nice quality, by the way. So over here, I have my. I'm just placing my uh, cheese a little on the side. So I have my beer, and then okay, let me get it. Let me get. It. I'm gonna get 2 things: something to drink more and something to eat. Okay. Something to eat we have over here. Place it here, and then something more to drink we have over here. So what I'm gonna do now is the tradition. These things over here, what we have over here, these things, they are called bitterballen. And we even have 2 variations. We have bitterballen. You normally get them by 6. So if you're with 2 people, if you were 3 people, it's still good. With 4 people, it's always like, oh, you need a second portion. No, we call them bitterballen. And basically, I'm now gonna place it a little in between. So this is really something that you're eating in the bar together with a beer. And there is over here normally there's minced meat inside. But I'm not eating meat anymore. So there's a beautiful vegetarian variation for it. And what you're doing is hmm, open it, and then you can see the minced meat inside. This is really good. And this is a bitterball. And what we normally do, and I'm not forgetting, is we're adding some mustard. We're adding some mustard on top. That is the best combination. And they are calling them bitterballen. So, but these things are not bitter at all. They're not bitter at all. No, it's really a nice smooth taste. So why do we call them these things bitterballen? Is because we're eating it traditionally together. And it's not fried meatballs, but it is deep fried, and the inside is minced meat with a sort of a ragout. I would say. So, no, but this is not bitter at all. So, but it is named after what where we eat this together with. Nowadays, most of the time is with a beer, but traditionally we're eating these balls, and I just did a little bit. We're traditionally doing that together with what we call Genever. This is the liquor of the Netherlands, made from the juniper berry, and I'm just gonna get it a little more nearby. So this is made from the juniper berry, and I'm just gonna open this, and you see this beautiful little tulip glass over here. So I'm just gonna fill it, and I have to concentrate for this because we have to fill it to the top. I don't know if you can see it. It's maybe a little hard to see, but it is completely to the top. Completely to the top. So don't touch it. Don't touch it. If you get this in a bar, asking for the traditional Genever, we have the old variation and the newer variation, then you have to not use your hands. So have your hands on your back. And what we have to do then, you're sitting at the bar. Okay, then you just have to do it like this. And you can make sounds. You can make sounds. For this, it's okay. So the first part, just make sure that you're getting it. And then the next part, you can drink. And this stuff, this is like, and I'm seeing someone saying like, Is it like gin? Yeah, this is the Dutch gin. Even, I can even tell you a little more, that the gin is based on our Genever. So the British were coming over here. I mean, Amsterdam is a port town, a very old port town. The British were coming over here. They loved it so much, and they were trying to find out how are these guys making that. We want something similar. So they made in the end the gin. So it's a sort of the variation. The gin is a sort of the variation of the Genever. So, but this is how we are normally drinking this in the bar. And of course, this is bitter. This is really bitter. So you really need a bitter ball with this. So, mm, no, and good question. You zip it. Yeah, you zip it, and you do not do a shot. So, and together, these things together, we're calling that a kopstoot or a head bump. So it's basically this is the strong alcohol. I think this one is. Let me check. What is it? Oh, 35%. 35% alcohol. So it's quite a lot. I'm just finishing this. Quite a high percentage of alcohol. So you're finishing this. Let's do it. So one or two is like, oh, it's really fire water. It's really fire water now coming through. Mm, mm. It's really good. It's really good. And then you're basically using your beer, and is now like water. It's like water because there's only 5% alcohol. So in comparison to the Genever, this is almost nothing. Wow. So yeah, a lot of situations you're eating the bitterballen with it. Another option, by the way, is that you're eating it with cheese. So we're getting the cheese back. I mean, we're not only doing the cheese for breakfast and for lunch. No, we're also doing the cheese in this kind of situation. So we are making sure that we have some. And for that one, I have the beautiful old cheese. So I have to prepare myself for this. Okay, let's go. We have the cheese. I'm a real cheesehead because I was born in Delft and I was growing up in the city of Gouda. You know Gouda from the cheese, and this is also one of these cheeses. So I have over here an old cheese, an older cheese, and you can quite easily see if you're looking at the color of the cheese. So I have over here the younger one. This one is most probably about 2 months old. This one. And then the one over here is about 2 years old. So you just have to wait longer. And then you see the color is changing. But not only that, also you can, if I'm coming a little more nearby, you can see that there are almost crystals coming. It's a little more drier, it's more salty, and everything is just with the cheese. And it's also a lot more mature. It's a lot more mature than what we were tasting before. Sorry that you cannot taste it. I just can only talk about it. So I'm now gonna cut off with the knife piece. It's really hard, and then you can get it like in little pieces, like what I have over here. So just tasting it. Um, it's a lot saltier than the one that I had before. Yeah, it's dry, so you can really feel that they need years to get this taste. And you can get Dutch cheeses. The oldest one is about 3 years old, and I can really recommend you if you're coming here, just try the different variations of the cheese. The third one that I have over here, I will come back to that later. Hmm, it's really good. So I'm getting So let's see if I have some more questions, but because I'm talking so much, mm, and no, you don't eat the whole thing. So that's with a lot of things. Eh? So I should normally eat about 6 bitterballen, although you're normally sharing it. So I even have two different ones. Um, one is a vegetarian, the other one is a one with cheese inside. So that's also a nice one. So if I'm opening one over here, I can also do that. Yeah, you can see it. Over here, it's a little yellow because over here, this is a bitter ball with cheese inside. So just another variation. Um, Chocolate with cheese. Oh no, that's an interesting. That's what we don't do. That's what we don't do. Yeah, of course, the breakfast we have the. Of course, then we have the bread with the chocolate and the bread with the cheese, but you normally don't eat that together. So first you finish your first slice of bread, and then you have your second one. So, oh, it's really good to have a beer now here. Mm. Okay, so and if you like this, yeah, uh, I'm always ready. So this one is too warm. I'm getting sweaty already with getting that cheese head on my head, and it's time for some other things because we have more Dutch food. I think I need another plate. So, because yeah, I have more. Look at this. I have a whole collection. I have a whole collection of the Delftware, and where the one before was not real, this is a real one. This is a real one, and I can see that on the side, on the back part. On the back part, you can see the sign over there. There's a very tiny sign, and that's saying that it's real Delftware. So new. Let's think, what will we have? Is it already, should we do some dinner stuff or should we do some, yeah, there's still so much choice. Okay, let's do some typical Dutch things more. So what I'm gonna do is, it's now getting winter. It's now getting winter. And one of the things, if it's really getting cold, if it's starting to freeze, then if we're lucky, it is freezing long enough so our water will freeze and we can ice skate. And when ice skating, of course, it's always cold, so we have to warm up. And then you have on a day that the water is frozen everywhere in the country, you have places where on the ice there are little stalls. And in these little stalls, uh, they are selling one thing, and I'm just gonna get it. One moment. Okay, I have it over here. So I'm just gonna show it you a little more nearby. And yeah, it is very thick. This is what we call snapped. In Dutch, we call it snapped, and it's basically pea soup. So it's pea soup, but it is very thick pea soup. So it should be that this is a really good variation because you can almost place your yeah, it's not. Yeah, here it's standing. So it's very thick pea soup because it is so cold. So you need the energy. So you need the energy of your snack. And this is really the interesting thing is. The interesting thing is, I'm just gonna eat a little from it. It's good. It's really good. It's very thick pea soup, and of course we have some also some meat in it. So we have some sausage in it, some pieces of sausage. And by the way, the one over here that you see is with the vegetarian sausage. But okay, that is almost the same taste. And yeah, it is very green. Hmm. And Tariq is saying they say you can stand a spoon like that in builder's tea. Okay, I assume that's a very black tea, isn't it? Now, we have that with our snack, as you can see. Now, it's not the whole time working like that, but it's this is what we're eating on the ice. So very basic food, but it is filling you. It's really good. So I'm just gonna place it over here because there's more, and I have still a plate that is empty. Yeah, I have several plates. So let's do something more. It is still winter time. And in winter time, we have something else that we're eating around Christmas. It's Christmas time, almost Christmas time, New Year's. Then we have something else. And we're calling these things, there we go. You can see it. Oliebollen. Oliebollen. Oliebollen, that is really one of my favorites. We only selling it about 6 weeks a year, so around Christmas and New Year's, originally on New Year's Day or the last day of the year. Then you're eating this, but of course, we're starting a little earlier. They're already cold now because we started a little later. Um, but these ones, I'm just gonna show you a little more from nearby. These deep fry balls from dough, That is what we're eating. It's all so healthy what we're eating. This is what we're eating around Christmas time, around New Year's. So these deep fried balls, and you can see on top they place some sugar. Place some sugar, and inside, um, and there's of course there's the dough. Um, mm. Oh, it's so good. Just come on, show you. It's To be honest, they are really good. This is even, I mean, it's now October, so it was a little hard to get these because in October normally it's like, yeah, they start selling them some places. Um, some places, so no, Laurie, so this is not 10 months old. Some places are starting to sell this already, but for the ones on the street, you really have to wait a little later in the month. But of course, these sellers they want to start earlier, but traditionally we're only eating this in December. So mm, it's really good. Mm, I'm going to show you again. You see that it's quite airy inside, so that means that that's a good one. That's a good one. And to be honest, I'm really surprised because I had a lot of these things in my life, and sometimes they're like, oh, they're old or they're n- not so fresh. But wow. And Barbara's asking, are those blueberries, chocolate, or nuts in it? No. How do you call these things? Raisins. Yeah, we're calling them. These are raisins inside. So that's a more traditional one. You also have them without raisins. Not everyone likes the raisins, but I always prefer the ones with the raisins. I think I have another one. Oh, look at this. I have one. This is the just the one without raisins. So this is the basic one, and then we have the raisin one. So both of them are what we call oliebollen. Oliebollen. So that basically means balls that are coming out of the oil. Oliebollen, balls out of the oil, because of course they are deep fried. So it's again, I said it already, very healthy. But yeah, imagine cold winters we have over here. Oh, this is so. I don't know what to do with it. I'm just placing it back. I think the coming 3 days I have enough food from all the things that I have over here. So um, placing it over there. I'm just gonna get another sip of my beer. Oliebollen and beer is, by the way, not the best combination, but okay, cannot have everything. So, um, I told you before on the Dutch markets that you can get um, the syrup waffles, the stroopwafels. Something else typical Dutch that you can get on the markets. And of course, we are a country nearby the sea. So we have some fish that we're eating over here. So, and one of our most famous fishes, okay, I'm just gonna remove this because I have another plate again, another Delft's Blue, by the way. So, one of the fish that we're eating over here, and we're eating that not only in the Netherlands, but also in some other countries, but that is the haring. Exactly. I see someone is saying it already. The haring or the herring. And I have it over here on this plate. And what you can see, we have the fish. We have the fish laying in the middle. On the sides, you can see on the side over here, there are some onions. And on the other side, what do we have over here? Exactly, pickles. So we have onions, pickles, and the herring. And what you can also see, we still have over here, we still have the tail. The tail is in there. So in parts of the Netherlands, I'm not saying everywhere in the Netherlands, but in parts of the Netherlands, the tradition is that you're going to the market and then you're saying, oh, ik wil een visje. I want a fish. I want a fish. And then you're meaning, I want a herring. And then you're going to the market and then you're asking the stall where they're selling this, can I get a fish? And then in some parts of the Netherlands, they're giving you what I have over here. And then the tradition is what you're doing, you're getting the herring. You're getting it by the tail. You're getting it by the tail. Oh, okay, the pickles are for later. Doesn't really matter. And what you're doing then, and to get it, you're doing this. Kind of- Ah, mm, And to be honest, this is how we're eating it. It is the raw herring. So it is not pickled. We have pickles with it, but it's not pickled. It's the raw herring. And when you're eating it, it is like butter. It's really like, it's very smooth. It is, they sometimes calling it the Dutch sushi. If you like sushi, you will for sure also really like the herring. So it is one of the most delicious things I think that we have in the Dutch kitchen. The best time of the year to eat this, by the way, is in June. In June, July, because what happens then is that the new catch is coming. Um, to the harbors, and then you have the fresh herring, and that's the best. So, and to be honest, if you don't like it to eat like this, then of course you can also get it like in little pieces. So you can cut it for you into little pieces. And yeah, with the pickles, it's an interesting combination, but it's really good. Hmm. Okay, so we had the herring, the traditional eating of the herring. So I'm just getting it back. So to be honest, I'm gonna place something over it because um, it smells. It smells, but it's a good smell, by the way. It's really fresh fish. It's really fresh fish. So um, mm, I really like it. I really like it. I didn't eat it for a long time, to be honest. So just gonna have another sip of my beer, and let's see what do we have more because we're not done yet. We're not done yet. I'm sometimes saying the Dutch kitchen is quite boring. And why am I saying that? There are two reasons. The first reason why the Dutch kitchen is quite boring is, and I said it already before, for our breakfast and our lunch, we're eating exactly the same. So there is no difference. Bread and cheese, bread and cheese. Okay, chocolate sprinkles. Wow, whoa, how fancy. Chocolate sprinkles. But that's it. That's it. And then we're drinking tea with it. We're drinking also a lot of milk. That's why a lot of the Dutchies are quite tall because of all the milk all the milk that we're drinking. Um, and then we're going to dinner time. It's dinner time. And you have to imagine that the traditional Dutch food at dinner time is also a little boring. And we're not the only country. Several other European countries, Northwestern European countries, love the same kind of things because what do we eat basically? On Monday, potatoes. On Tuesday, potatoes. On Wednesday, potatoes. Thursday, potatoes. Friday, potatoes. Saturday, potatoes. Sunday, okay, let's do fried potatoes. Basically, 7 days a week, potatoes, 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 potatoes. And we have them in all kind of variations, but always the potato is in there. And I'm talking about traditional Dutch kitchen. So how it used to be. If you're coming to Amsterdam, coming to the Van Gogh Museum, you have one of his most famous pieces. It's still in his early works, a little dark. It's not like with the flowers and the French things. It's just dark. He was still in the southern part of the Netherlands, where the beer is coming from, by the way, and he painted a painting that's called the Potato Eaters, or in Dutch, the aardappel eaters, the potato eaters. And yeah, we are not only cheeseheads, we're also potato eaters. And one of the most nice variations, because we have them in all variations, I'm just gonna get it again. 1 minute. No, 10 seconds. We have it over here. Look what I have over here. I prepared it already a little. I don't know how warm this still is. So, but what we have over here are mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes. And in this variation, it is mashed potatoes with kale. I know kale is nowadays very famous, whatever hipster food, but we have been eating this already. And yes, Natalie, you're saying the right name. We're calling this boerenkool, farmer's kale, basically farmer's kale. This is how we're eating it. So just potato and kale, a little salt and pepper. That's it, not more. So you're boiling the potatoes a little too long. You're boiling the vegetables until everything is a little snotty. Then you're mashing it to each other. And then you have our famous Dutch food. Hmm, good. Well, it's a little cold now, but And then, of course, if you could afford it, you were adding some a sausage or something like that. So a smoked sausage, that is the tradition. And by the way, we have this kind of mashed variations also in other combinations. So you have, for example, also with potato and endives, or you have potatoes with onions and with onions and carrots. So that's also a famous variation. But every time again, it is always potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. And then when I was a kid, then on Saturday, we're going to the market. And then on the market, this was like, okay, this is a special day. So it's a little different. What were we eating on the market? No, not this, not this. 10 seconds again. Ah, this is so good. On the market, you have these typical and one thing. I have to tell you one thing. This is not French fries. We're not in France. This is not French fries. So these are Dutch fries. And Dutch fries are different. One of the big differences is that these fries that we have over here, that they're thick. They're not tiny, not they are really thick. The Dutch fries are thick fries. That's how we're eating this. And to be honest, also these ones are now a little cold, but we traditionally have it in these triangle bags. And then you maybe know that. Maybe some of you know that. What sauce are we using with our fries? So a lot of people, when they're coming over here, they're a little surprised about that. So because, yeah, you would maybe say, oh, some ketchup, some tomato ketchup, but no, 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 no. This is what we're using, mayonnaise. So, oh, come on, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of mayonnaise. So healthy again. That is what we're using. We're using mayonnaise over our fries. That is the best combination. I see people were like, but no, this is how it should be. Thick fries, so you can still taste inside the taste of the potato, and a potato is very healthy. You can taste the potato inside, and then together with some mayonnaise. And someone is saying, "Yeah, that's the same as in Belgium." Yeah, that is true, and it's not so strange because the Netherlands and Belgium used to be one country. So the tradition is coming from our country, and it used to be the Netherlands and Belgium together. And the only thing that we still now have is that we have wars in the Netherlands. We have wars about these things. So we have the famous wars, and no casualties. Don't worry, no casualties. The famous wars are about the name of what I have right now. If you're in this part of the country, northern part of the country, Amsterdam, we're calling this patat. But if we're going south under the rivers, they are calling this friet. So patat and friet. And if you're combining these words, you have patat frit, patatas fritas, like in Spanish. Like in Spanish, they're saying patatas fritas, fried potatoes. But basically, over here, they're saying it's just the potato. And in the southern part, and also in Belgium, they're calling it just fried. It's just fried. And well, we're not frying anything else. We're just frying the potatoes. So it is, but it's basically it's exactly the same. But based on the name that people are giving to this food, you can distinguish from where in the Netherlands they are. So I'm always saying patat, or that's how I'm used to, because I'm more from the north. But in the south, they're always saying friet, or basically fries. And now I'm just gonna get something so I can place this in here, and then we're going to the next one. Okay, I still have several more things over here. Um, People were asking before about, okay, coffee. Are you also drinking coffee? Yeah, we do. Oh, this was okay. Sorry for this. Let's see if we're still. That was my gimbal just falling. Can you still see me? Yeah, you can still see me. Maybe the now a little bit different variation, but yeah, we're also drinking lots and lots and lots of coffee over here. And yeah, what do you do together with the coffee? I told you before the syrup waffles. No, that is not with the coffee, but we have two other things that are quite famous. And the first thing is, and I just made sure not to have the full thing. That is this thing over here. We have a lot of time with the coffee. We have more healthy food. This is an apple pie, or what we sometimes say, grandma's apple pie. And to be honest, my grandma was making apple pies like this. Apple pies like this. So you can see inside, you can see the apples over there, and it is delicious. The best is, by the way, if you have them fresh or just when they're just cooling. If the cake is just cooling down, but okay. I didn't have the time for that, and I also didn't want to get a full cake because then I don't have food for 3 days, but for the full week or maybe even more. And then next time I will not fit through the door anymore. So, but yeah, the apple pie is a quite famous one. So, and the interesting thing is, and I have a lot of guests coming to Amsterdam, and then I'm taking them to a place where they have good apple pie, and then they're saying to me like, okay, yeah, I know apple pie, and I'm always saying like, you have to try the Dutch ones, because the Dutch ones, they're basically with a lot less sugar, and almost 80% of the cake is the apple. So it's really that you're tasting the apple in all its aspects. So it is amazing. It's an amazing thing to try when you're over here. So oh, I didn't have a fork with me, but whatever. I can just do with my hands. Normally you're eating this with a knife and a fork. So I'm just getting a little piece from the end. So just also do a test of the quality. Hmm, okay, I would say my grandma was better in this. She had apple trees in her garden, and every year, around September, October, this time of the year, when we were coming over there, then we had to eat apple pie, apple pie, apple pie, and then at the end of the day, it's like, oh, do you also want to bring some apples home? So because of course it was harvest season, it's around this time of the year. So, but Dutch apple pie. But we also have something else. We have something else. So, and for this, I I think I need a fork for this. Oh, thank you. Catherine is a little helping me here and there, as you maybe understand, because it's a lot of a lot of coordination. I see now that my gimbal is a little not even this is better, I think. Okay, I have over here a fork. I had a knife already, and then I'm getting something else that you can find also over here. And we're calling it an tompous. An tompous. So, um, and I'm just gonna get one piece out. And the thing is, okay, I'm just gonna get one. Let's get one piece out. So, and then I can get it also a little more near, a little more nearby. So this is a tompous. Now you can see there is some vanilla in the middle. There's a beautiful pink part on the top, and yeah, we're gonna eat this. So let's see. I think you can see it now. This thing, it's the taste is the best, but it is uneatable. It's horrible to eat it, and I can show you why that is. Because you think like, oh, let's start eating a tompous. So just get your fork in it. Ah, fuck. Oh, sorry. Cut this out, please. But it's already. I'm just cutting it into pieces and no, I think you can see it already. It's completely a mess. And it doesn't matter. If I'm eating it with my hands, the same thing will happen. So let's try that. Let's try that. So I'm just eating it with my hand. Yeah, it's the f- the yellow part is everywhere. Mm, But you always your fingers are pink and yellow after this. It is a delicious taste, but it's you're always making a mess. I've never seen anyone in this country, and yeah, it's custard in the middle. Um, I've never seen in this country anyone who could eat this. Yeah, you see people that are removing the upper part, eat that first, and then do the custard and the under part. But it is because there are two pieces. The custard is in between, and it's always getting out. It's always getting a mess. And now, of course, after that, I now did it with my hands, and now my hands are also sticky. So, okay, I'm just your guinea pig, of course, to try it all. But it is and it's also very sweet, by the way. So again, you can see that a lot of the Dutch food it is quite it's not all the healthiest, and yeah, that is you maybe now also understand why are all these people in the Netherlands, why are they all walking and cycling the whole time? That because we have to get rid of all the fat and the sugar that we're eating the whole day. And so we really need an active lifestyle to get rid of it. So so thank you already for seeing me eating all of this and being your guinea pig for the Dutch kitchen. So and just removing this one. Thank you. So I have some more. Oh, I even made a mess on the table. There's custard and there are still some chocolate sprinkles and oh, some pieces. Oh, some onion and everything. So you can maybe imagine we really have to clean it up after this. So okay, I'm just gonna get this is also not the best combination. Another sip of beer. So because our kitchen is not that interesting, so but as you maybe know, the Dutch, we had several colonies. So in Amsterdam in the 17th century, we started several trading companies, and one of our most famous trading companies was the Dutch East Indies Company. And what was the Dutch East Indies Company doing? They were basically going to Eastern Asia, and in our situation, it was Indonesia. And over there, that's where we were trading. We were trading a lot. We were making lots and lots and lots of money with that trade. So, but we are starting to bring the spices over here. The spices from Indonesia. So all kind of spices. And one of the most famous spices that we brought from Indonesia is something that we're called cumin. So we had the cumin and we brought the cumin over here. Next to that, also pepper, by the way. We also were not used to eat that. So, but also cumin came over here. And of course, we are over here in a country that's making cheese. So we don't know exactly what happened, but one day someone left, most probably had some cumin, made made a mistake, and the cumin fell into the milk that was supposed to be getting the new cheese, young cheese, old cheese, all kind of cheeses. I don't know even know what kind of cheese. But the interesting thing is, then we found out that cheese with cumin is a beautiful combination. So, and nowadays, one of the most famous Dutch towns is the city of Leiden. And in Leiden, they found out like the cumin with the cheese, that is a beautiful combination. And that is the third cheese. So I think I need my cheese hat again. So I don't have cumins on my cheese hat, but let's just wear it for this moment again. But over here we have one of the variations of what we call the cumin cheese, or in Dutch we say komijnenkaas, cumin komijn. And this variation, by the way, is again a little younger one. And how can we see that? I can still see it's not so stiff yet. But over here inside the cheese, you can see that there are all kind of cumin seeds that are literally placed inside the cheese, and it is a very nice combination. It's, to be honest, okay, I'm from Gouda, but the cheese is from Leiden. The cumin cheese, that is my favorite. And I was already from when I was a boy, and this was my favorite to have on the on my bread. So I would almost take another piece of bread to eat this, but there's more. Because not only the cumin, there was a lot more that the Indonesians were bring, or what we got from Indonesia. And then what happened in the 20th century, quite late by the way, Indonesia became independent. It was not part of the Netherlands anymore. They became independent, and at the moment that they were becoming independent, what happened is that a lot of the Indonesians that worked for the Dutch in their own country, they were sort of like, okay, we don't like you guys so much anymore because you were working together with our colonizer. So what happened is that a lot of the Indonesian people, and I'm not talking from the 1960s, 1970s, were coming to the Netherlands. Starting over here because they have been working for the Dutch for a long time. They were coming over here, they were trying to find jobs, and it was quite hard because most of them didn't speak the language, or not too well at least. So some of them were starting to set up their own restaurants to make Indonesian food. And to be honest, we are now, what is it, about 60, 70 years later. And nowadays, the Indonesian kitchen is part of the Dutch kitchen. And to be honest, that's a lot better. Now can almost say like the Dutch kitchen is not so boring anymore, but that is because of the Indonesians. It's because of Indonesia. And one of the things that they brought is, and we're calling it over here in the Netherlands, een rijsttafel, or rice table. And basically, what a rice table is that your full table is filled with food, with different meat, vegetables, fish, with all kind of things, and it's basically showing the full Indonesian kitchen. And Indonesia is a quite big country, and they're showing it all. And it is so much food normally that you can only eat it with at least two, and maybe even you have food for three or four because it's so much food. So what I did is I got some of the, let me get it over here. I got a rice table, so let's get it over here. Ah, let's see if it fits. Okay, I said already, it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot, so but we're not ready yet. There's more. There's more. Okay, we have a second one. So I don't think it will even fit completely. Uh, but you can see over here, this is what we call een rijsttafel with all kind of different spices and things together. So of course, with rice in this situation, I'm really a fan of yellow rice. So we have yellow rice over here, um, but we have some eggs over here on the on the side. And to be honest, Laurie, I cannot cook Indonesian. No, I cannot cook. So, but we have so many nice restaurants. So I ordered at one of the restaurants a nice rice table. And I said already before, I'm a vegetarian, so normally I'm also not eating fish. So that little herring was just like, okay, I will not talk about it anymore. But yeah, this is what you can get, and there are so many different spices and flavors, and it's so much richer, I think, than what we have in the Dutch kitchen. And one of the things It's not saffron rice. It's just yellow rice. So they made saffron is too expensive, and that's also not the spice that came from Indonesia. But one of the things, let's I want to pick out one thing because I told you before that the Dutch over here that we're eating a lot of fries. So and traditionally we're doing that with mayonnaise. So the mayonnaise and the fries that's normally. But since the Indonesians came over here, not only we let fall some cumin in the cheese, but also something else what it was introduced. And I can show you that over here. And I'm just gonna get a little piece. Just getting it a little more in the camera. So in this is tofu, by the way, but you can also imagine it can also be chicken, for example, or even all kind of other meats. So, but on top of the tofu in this situation, there is a sort of a brown sauce. And this brown sauce, no, it's not chocolate. No, it's not chocolate sauce. That would be an interesting combination. No, this is what we call satay sauce, a sauce made of peanut. So it's peanut sauce. It's normally hot peanut sauce that you're having on it. So, and it can also be a little spicy. So it's like yeah, it's peanut sauce with a little spice, a little more like with chili with some peppers on it, and that is amazing. It's an amazing sauce. So that sauce over there, um, became so popular that we started adding it also to our fries. So nowadays, one of the most famous variations of the fries is with mayonnaise and with peanut butter sauce. So in that combination, so white and brown, and the interesting thing is that we're calling it war fries because it almost looks like you have the fries with white and brown. It's like almost like a battlefield. It's almost like a battlefield with all the yellow fries or the legs and the hand and the arms that are left over. Enjoy your food. Uh, but yeah, the satay sauce is amazing, and in this situation. Um, on a satay stick with it's really good, but there's a lot more that you can see over here. So there are little beans, there's more tofu, there is cold and warm, there is what we call the kupuk or the kupek, and all this is a beautiful, really a beautiful kitchen. And I love it that this became part of the Dutch food. And to be honest, this is not in this was a small rice table. I ordered a small one. So imagine if you're going to the restaurant and you have a big one, and for example, if you're with four people eating this, then you have even more variations. And this is also the variation without meat. If you're eating meat and fish, then you also have even more variations. So I can really recommend if you're coming to the Netherlands, maybe if you're 2 days over here, try one day the Dutch food, potatoes, 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 and the other day go for the lot richer Indonesian food. So I'm just gonna place this on the side because I'm gonna eat this after this tour. Let's see. Hopefully you are a little hungry already from seeing all this food. We're not completely ready yet. I still have some extra things for the end. So, because we were talking before about we were talking before about the darker times, the colder times, and in the colder and the darker times, we're eating a little more the sweet things. And one of the things is we have Christmas over here, but there's also another Dutch national holiday, and that's called Sinterklaas or Saint Nicholas. We are celebrating that in November and the start of December. And in the time that Saint Nicholas and his helpers are over here, we're eating all kind of other things. We're eating again, sorry, a lot of sweet things. And one of the things that the helpers of Saint Nicholas are always having with them are these things. We're calling them kruidnoten and pepernoten. That's another variation. They're basically like little cookies like this. Okay, okay, it's getting everywhere. We have mice already, so old Amsterdam building all have mice. So we try to get rid of them. But no, these kind of little cookies, very sweet again. This is really what is famous in almost, it's now October, so we still have to wait, I think, about 3 weeks before St. Nicholas is in the country again, but you can already buy these kind of things in the supermarkets. And I'm just gonna show you a little more from nearby. This is just one little nut or kruidnoot, what we how we call that. So it is, and it's really amazing. So and you can see all over the country that Saint Nicholas and his helpers, and what are these helpers doing? By the way, they're just giving this to the kids in their hands. So like, oh, nice, nice sweets, nice sweets. So it's really good. They're little. So that's one. Then another thing, we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet. So when I was thinking about Dutch food, one of the things is that I really had to go back to my youth with the chocolate sprinkles, with also Saint Nicholas. By the way, next to this, we're also eating chocolate letters. I think I maybe also have that, but that's for later. Um, and then one of the other things, and I had to prepare. This is a little harder to prepare. But one of the other things is that um, we're also eating something else. If you're coming to the Netherlands, we have another tradition, and I have to say again, it's not the healthiest food. I show you already some healthy food? Yeah, maybe the Indonesian ones, but the rest not really healthy at all. But one of my favorites as a kid again, and all over Europe or in most countries, you have all kind of variations of pancakes. Also in the Netherlands, we have some pancakes, but I think even more famous are what we call poffertjes. Poffertjes. And I have them over here. And I'm just going to show you a little more nearby. These kind of things are mini, mini, mini pancakes. Mini pancakes, they're a little thicker than a normal pancake. And of course, how do we eat this? We're eating this warm and with a lot of sugar over it. And then to make it even better, because it is warm, it is hot, then we're placing some butter over it. So the butter is melting over the poffertjes, over the little pancakes, and then with some extra sugar over it. I didn't have that sugar with me, so sort of powdered sugar over it. And then you have again something delicious. One of these other things that you can also find, by the way, the whole year round. It's not only in winter time, but you can find that on the street markets in the Netherlands. So it's really, and they make it fresh for you, so it's warm with some, of course, some extra butter, some extra. If you want, you can have more fancy variations with chocolate, but traditionally it's just with powdered sugar and some butter. That's it. So poffertjes, very typical Dutch too. So I can really again recommend you if you wanna this gathering going up, I can really recommend you to try this when you are in the Netherlands. But we have more. We still have more. I have done already really a lot. So let's see what is left. And Susan is saying, I'm surprised anyone can climb a bike. Yeah, I can imagine that. So, okay, one other Dutch tradition, and just going back a little to the Saint Nicholas. Um, if you're living in more the English speaking countries than with Santa Claus, what are the kids are doing? They're hanging their socks somewhere in front of the chimney. That's the tradition. In your sock, you have your list with all the things that you want from Santa Claus. We have something similar in the Netherlands with Saint Nicholas. So, but no, we're not using our socks because our socks, we're walking and cycling a lot. So we can maybe imagine how they smell. So no, we don't have that. What we're doing is we're placing our shoe. So not the socks, no, the shoe. So we're placing our shoe in front of the chimney. A lot of people, of course, nowadays don't have chimneys anymore. So what they're doing, let's just do this live. Just let's do this live. So a smelly shoe, exactly. So I have my shoe over here. Sorry, it's an old shoe. Um, and we're placing it in front of the chimney. And then Saint Nicholas is traditionally so is traditionally coming on his horse. He has a white horse. So to make sure that Saint Nicholas is giving you something, what you're doing is one, of course, you're placing a letter for Saint Nicholas in your shoe. And what you're doing, then you're giving something for his horse. And what our horse is eating, something that we're also using for our Stamppot, a carrot. So we're basically doing this, placing a carrot in our shoe. And then, of course, somewhere in the night, Saint Nicholas and his helpers, they're going over the houses. And then uh and the next day, as a kid, you're really excited. So the next day, maybe let's see if there is something in my shoe. And then one of the things in a lot of situations is then the next morning you're finding your shoe. Of course, the carrot is gone, your list is gone, and what you're getting then in your shoe is this. There is a package like this in your shoe. Uh, the letter S. Why the letter S? Because my name is Stefan. So if my name would have been Peter, it would be a P. If I would have called Aaron, it would be an A. So it is based on the letter, or it's maybe the S from Saint Nicholas. That can also be. But there is a chocolate letter in your shoe, and I opened it already for you. So this is how it looks. This is what you're finding inside the package. So imagine in your shoe, you have this in your package, a nice chocolate letter in the shape of the first letter of your name. It is really nice. So uh, the tradition really goes, this time of the year, then you're always getting a chocolate letter in your shoe. So let's place my shoe back from the table because I still have to eat, but I think it's a beautiful Dutch tradition. Um, do we still have something left? Oh, there's a little thing left. This is also typical Dutch, and I know most people, most people hate this. Most people coming over here, they don't like it. And I just placed it for you. It's called drop. You just have to do the first part. The drop. And it's not from dropping something. No. What is drop? Drop is, and Catherine was saying it already, licorice. It's little licorice, and we have them, by the way, in all kind of variations. Oh, I thought it was open, but not completely open. It is a little traditionally, it is quite black, but there can be on top of the licorice, there can be or sugar or salt. Depends a little on what you like. I don't even know which one it is. So let me see. What did I get? Oh, this is the soft salmiak sweet one. So these are a little sweet, but although yeah, sweet. But you can also get them salty. So and a lot of people don't like it so much. But to be honest, in the Netherlands, if you're growing up over here, then every time you are getting drop. So these are the sweets that again as a kid that you're getting from your parents. So I have a full box over here. So for everyone who's coming to the Netherlands, this stays good for a long time. I will not give you my herring or all the other things. But if you're coming over here, this will stay for a very long time. So if you're coming over here, I can really invite you, come and try one of this licorice. So I think that was it. I think we've now seen almost everything that you can find in the Dutch kitchen. It's 1 hour and 20 minutes of talking about food while I did not eat a lot myself yet. So I really I need some time now for myself to eat because it's already over 9 o'clock. So it's a little. To be honest, that's one of the things I didn't even talk about. Normally, we have dinner at 6 o'clock. We're a little early. So if you're going south in Europe, it's getting later and later. But in the Netherlands, we're eating dinner at 6 o'clock. So it is already a little late. But and I just had some little pieces here and there. So I didn't even finish my beer. That was the only thing that I tried every time, but sometimes with all the sweet stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed to see a little more, to learn a little more about the Dutch kitchen. I could have done a lot more than even in this, but I think this is already at least a nice overview. So I hope you enjoyed it. And let me see. I tried here and there to answer some of the questions. If there's still a question that one of you really want me to answer, let me know right now. So and otherwise, and I said it already 2 or 3 times before, you really have to travel to the Netherlands and to try some yourself. But of course, that is the best. And just give me a call, just send me a message, and I can give you at least the places for the best apple pie, for the best Indonesian food, for the best craft beers, not the one that I'm having today, for the best places where you can have the Genever, the Dutch gin. So there are so many really good things. And Laurie is asking, what is your favorite food? I think I said already that I'm really happy that the Indonesian cuisine came into the Netherlands. So the Indonesian food is one of my favorites, but of course, I'm still a Dutchie. So always, always, always the cheese. The cheese I will never get uh I'm always loving it. I'm always loving it. So I'm never getting bored of eating a piece of cheese. And to be honest, it's not only Dutch cheese. I also love all the other cheeses in the world, almost all of them, from the blue ones, the young ones, all of everything. But yeah, you can wake me up in the middle of the night and say like, Stefan, I have cheese for you, and I will take it. I will try it. So thank you again for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I see that my battery is also almost empty. I'll be back. So it will be now a little wintry time. The weather's not so good anymore. So some of the coming tours will be also like today from from the inside. So I'm looking forward to seeing you again. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. And I'm now gonna have some more food. Bye bye.